You're watching the CG Live podcast. Now, the content for these podcasts are a little bit different than our normal pods as we bring on members and do long-form interviews. These were actually recorded live at our events with members that were going on stage to present, so the content is killer. Enjoy the show. All right, welcome back into the live Collective Genius podcast. We are here at our CG Select and Elevate event, Dallas, Texas, at the Uptown Marriott. Lots of great presentations so far here on day one. Got a real treat for you. The last few guests that we've had here on the live podcast have been longtime members. I have a member sitting across from me that joined this great organization in January and has done some amazing things. Can't wait to hear and share all of these great stories from Jason Reynolds, our guest. Jason, welcome to the pod. Their first time on the pod. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many amazing people here. I'm just blessed and grateful that you want to speak to me. So
Well,
I'm happy to be here.
I'd love to get everybody on, but as you can see from my energy level, starting to go down after a bunch of these shows now. But I will say this. There's a reason I wanted to have you on. We had a conversation a month ago about just the community in general. And you said, so we were talking about your former baseball career and your journey as a real estate investor. And I want to give some perspective to the listeners. You joined this community in January, and I know that you have to do the work. At the end of the day, you have to do the work. But what you said to me really resonated. At the time, you said, I'm going to double my business this year.
Yeah.
And here we are a month later, and you're like, I'm a baseball guy. I'm going to try to go for 3 here.
Yeah.
So you may be tripling your business since last year. So first, let's start with where you operate out of, what's the model, so we can give some reference here, and then we'll talk about how you got into where you were and how you tripled the business.
Yep. So based in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding suburb metro area. We are 75% flip wholesale, 25% wholesale at this point. We've kind of transitioned to taking more stuff down this year. Last year, we're around 50-50 wholesale and flip, and that's where we're at.
Okay. So you have been in the business how long?
Full-time for 3 years. Was when I
Full-time, 3 years.
transitioned from baseball.
So this is a great example of when I say CG Select and Elevate, a lot of our members have really good businesses, have usually been in the business full-time. They may have been in the business 5, 7, 8 years, but generally 3 to 5 years on full-time, and are really growing into that branded next level real estate entrepreneur for their particular area. Let's start with, how did you hear about this group? Because you were in business full-time for 2 years. How'd you hear about CG?
I think it was through Steve Trang's podcast. I don't remember the specific episode or anything like that,
Yep.
but it's just his podcast is one that I've listened to in the past, and
Yep.
that was what sprinkled the seed for me. And then just heard about it probably through other people that I know, and just one thing led to another, and I'm here now.
Yeah. So I'll make sure that I thank Steve, who's here at this meeting. I'll make sure I thank him for that. So you hear about us, you join March of 25, correct? January of 25.
That was my first event. I think I joined December, but
Okay.
the first event
was January of 25. What'd you think at your first meeting? I want to give some perspective for those that are thinking about joining, that, how did you got your first, what did you think about your first meeting?
I mean, I got a ton out of that first meeting. Like everybody talks about the CG slap, right? And like it's a real thing, like just being overwhelmed, and like I'm an analytical guy. Like I need time to process things. But like just from that first event alone, talking, like I was really at the beginning of the year having a problem with construction and general contractors. I wanted to bring it in-house, and like being able to connect with people who had successfully hired a project manager in-house, how they structured the comp plan, how they onboarded that person, how they're managing them day to day, like it's what gave me the confidence to pull the trigger. I think I eventually would have done an like at some point,
Sure.
But it happens a lot quicker when you have the resources.
Yeah, and you brought that in-house, and from what I remember on our conversation, you saved a tremendous amount of money and ended up having bigger yields on your flips because of that,
For sure.
correct?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, saving on average, I would say $15,000 to $20,000 compared to what we were paying general contractors. Yeah.
And
I spend less time managing it.
oh, imagine that. Time and money.
Yeah.
Wow, win-win. And this came from a conversation with someone that already had in-house project management, correct?
Yeah. So I talked to a bunch of people at that first event because I was telling it's a common thing you hear, right? What are you looking to get out of this event? I was telling everybody I could. The one person that comes to mind is Phil Jackson, who even after the event really helped me out. Hey, shout out to Phil, right?
Yeah.
But he really helped me set the plan for bringing that person on.
I call Phil Two Rings Phil. You know why I call him Two Rings Phil?
Why?
Because his name is Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
And Phil Jackson, the basketball coach and player, I can't even tell you how many rings Phil Jackson has. 8,
Yeah.
I think 1 as a player and 7 as a coach. But Phil Phil Jackson has 2 rings he was a Division II football player. He was a running back at Northwest Missouri State. Shout out to Phil for that. 2 rings, Phil.
Cool.
That one conversation, we talk about intentionality in this room. Like, he has to do the work. But the blueprint and having a conversation with someone who already has it, like you said, you probably would have done it before.
Yeah.
Or later, eventually, but you didn't have to wait till eventually. You got quickly your time back and also higher yields. Amazing how that works.
Yeah.
So what led beyond project management? How'd you get to a point where you're going to triple your business this year?
It's a common theme. It's just people, right? Like bringing the right people on and becoming less of a doer in my business and really learning to lead and manage people 100%. Like last year when we did 500 in gross profit, it was me, a part-time project manager and a VA basically. And now the team is significantly bigger than that.
So some people will hear this and say, well, it's just people. That sounds simple, right? Is there anything that you learned in the room of how to hire the right people?
One of my main takeaways from today, it's stuff that I've heard before, but it's just starting to hit me different now, right? Like I'm in the right position to hear it. Is just like really investing into your people and knowing what their personal goals are, right? One of my acquisitions guys, or both of them now actually, they're trying to build a rental portfolio, right? And feeding into them and being there, on our weekly one-on-ones, helping them, structure the deal or whatever. It's just what creates long-term buy-in. And also it's one of like, don't get me wrong, making more money is great, but like when I think about the long-term vision of where I want to go, the thing that brings me the most satisfaction is seeing my team grow.
That will survive long-term.
Yeah.
Making more money is great. It makes things easier and more convenient. You get cooler experiences.
Yeah.
But at some point, you'll learn this as you continue to dominate as you are, that at some point, if you're not helping others get what they want, it becomes monotonous and it's just a job.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
And when you're pouring into others, and this is a common theme, people, but not only hiring the right people, right butts, right seats, but then pouring into them and developing them. We've heard a lot of that today. And a lot of the transformation, like Dustin Singer's presentation today, his whole transformation came when he realized that he had to be a better leader, to bring on better teammates and develop them at a higher level. So I'm so glad, you're a young man, to be able to know that before you're 30 years old is a gift. Yeah. It really, truly is.
I felt like I was doing a good job of those things until I heard, the CG slap, until I hear Dustin talk about what he's doing with his team. Yeah. Again, it's being in this room is what gives you almost gives you the vision of what you can do.
The possibility, man. It's the Roger Bannister. When I walked into this room 11 years ago, there were people doing 250 flips, man, 11 years ago. Yeah. And we were walking in, banging our chest doing 50 flips. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, man, I can do more. If that person can do 250, I can do 100. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Not just to throw out an arbitrary number, but I knew that meant growth. And I knew that meant we can pour into people, help our community more. It's more than just money at that point. You mentioned that was a takeaway today. You just came from a track room that was about fundraising, correct?
Yes, sir.
What'd you learn? Any takeaways from that track?
Main takeaway is that starting a fund is like a business in itself. My takeaway from that is that I'm not ready for it.
Good.
Honestly.
I'm glad.
And I'm just doubling down on building the team, building the business we have. I do think that being primarily fix and flip capital becomes a constraint, but it's not the biggest constraint on our business right now.
No, and it doesn't. You don't have to build a fund.
Yeah.
But you can have conversations today for asset-based fundraising, private money for asset-based per deal fundraising that will help you in the future when you are in need of a fund.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It's not that I took nothing away from it. I took some nuggets.
Oh, that's
on, like,
plenty.
managing right after if you're using private money after the loan gets funded. Don't just go silent on them.
Yeah.
Right? Monthly updates for your investors and stuff like that. It's something I could definitely be doing.
I'm guessing that came from Fuquan?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a great thing about, we are here live at the CG Select and Elevate event. We have premier level members, long time. Fuquan's been in this group for 7 years. Yeah. And he brings his son because he wants to expose his son to being around young entrepreneurs at the Select level, not Elevate level. And he also brings him to the premier groups, and he says, hey, I will come and give as much value as I possibly can to anybody in the room. And he is a professional at raising capital, and he's a professional at making sure he's building long-term relationships with that capital. You can learn a lot, and he's the type of guy that anytime you need him, you can always reach out to him. That's what I love about this community, because Fuquan has a lot of people that he's leaned on over the years, and just give him, he will fly down to these events. It's the second in a row that he's done for CG Select. So pretty cool. Pretty cool experience to have that exposure.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else that you've learned? I know we're only in day one here. Anything else that you might have taken away, or a new relationship?
I think I got to go back to what Dustin was talking about, and just like this whole year has been really me transforming as a leader and becoming less of the person doing the thing, wearing all the hats, and really managing and leading my team. I think I've realized that my natural leadership style is I'm a little bit of a micromanager. I'm working on it, but there's so many things I have ideas for things I could be delegating in the business so I can spend more time pouring into my team, having one-on-ones, and really intentionally creating the culture for the company. 100%.
Just focus on this. You're a young man. You're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So my advice to you would be there was a couple of different things in a few presentations today that's just talked about that just being better every single day.
Yeah.
Right. Never get bored with the details.
Yeah.
Never get bored with the practice and the things that you're working on to be 1% better every day. And your team will recognize that, and you'll look up and you'll be 10 years in and have the perfect team with the perfect business and moving into another asset class or something else that at that point in your career is something that you really want to do. So I couldn't be more happy for you. This is a perfect example of when you join this community and you take action, because it doesn't happen on its own. You just don't come in here and through osmosis, everything just absolutely happens for you. You took action, you learned, you took action, built relationships. You mentioned Phil. The relationships will serve you long. And you have even said this to me, that there's more that you should be doing with CG.
100%.
As long as you're making sure that you're giving and bringing value and helping others as they've helped you, it will continue to pay you back in dividends. So I can't say that I've only known you for a short amount of time. I'm just proud. I know your parents have to be proud of you at this age of figuring out these type of things at this early on. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a long time to go, obviously, but you're doing what you love and making a difference. So this young man tripled his business, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 year. He tripled his business. And the baseball thing, he's Home Run Home Solution. What a great name. Former baseball.
We got to go for 4 next year.
Let's go for 4. So if you'd like to be in a room with members like Jason Reynolds, I've said it once, I've said it 15 times today. The best way to get into this room is, first and foremost, go to our website at explorecg.com. There you'll find all the information that you need. If you're a full-time real estate investor, the community that's right for you, there's an application process. Go through that, fill it out, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Again, that's explorecg.com. That is it for this live podcast. Jason Reynolds, thank you so much for joining me. We will see you on the next live Collective Genius podcast.
Are you ready to scale your real estate business? Visit thecollectivegenius.com, where real estate investors come to scale. Subscribe to the Collective Genius podcast and hit the bell icon to be notified when our next episode releases. And thanks for listening.